Today, we're diving into something really strange, a phenomenon that haunts investigators working on missing persons cases. It's this bizarre twist that can take a moment of what feels like a breakthrough and turn it into a complete, chilling mystery. Imagine you're putting a puzzle together and you find two pieces that look like they fit perfectly, but they just don't. Now take that exact feeling of frustration and apply it to a situation where the stakes are literally life and death. So let's put ourselves in the shoes of an investigator. They've been on a tough case for months, maybe even years. A new report hits their desk, and with it comes this huge surge of hope. This could be it. This could finally be the answer a family has been so desperately waiting for. On one side of the desk, they've got the file for the person who's missing. It's full of all the little details, photos, distinguishing marks, basically a portrait of a life that has just completely vanished. And this file is specific. We're talking a height of 6'1", a very noticeable scar just above the right eye, a faded anchor tattoo on the forearm, and, importantly, dental records showing they've had work done. These are the kinds of unique identifiers that should make this person, one of a kind. Then, from the other side of the desk, a new report comes in from the coroner's office. It's for an unidentified body. And as the investigator starts reading through the details, you can just imagine their pulse starts to speed up a little. And there it is, that feeling. The height, 6'1", that's a match. The scar above the right eye, it matches. That faded anchor tattoo, it's there. A perfect match. Even the dental work seems to line up. I mean, this has to be them, right? The case feels like it's about to be closed. Okay, but to really get what happens next, we have to kind of zoom out for a second. This whole situation happens because investigators are dealing with two massive and really tragically separate worlds of data. So investigators are essentially working in two parallel universes. On one side, you've got the database of all the missing people. That's the world of hope and just agonizing uncertainty. And on the other side, you have the database of the unidentified, all the John and Jane Does, this collection of silent, tragic mysteries. The whole job is to find that one single link between those two worlds. And this is where it looks like that link has finally appeared, but it ends up leading somewhere much, much stranger. This is where the case takes a really sharp, unsettling turn. I mean, based on everything they're seeing, the conclusion is obvious. The investigator has found their person. Yeah, it's a tragic ending, of course, but it is an ending. Closure is finally within reach for the family. But just as they're getting ready to make that difficult phone call, they double-check the files one last time. And one little detail, just one tiny piece of information, brings the whole thing to a screeching halt. For instance, what if the coroner determined that this unidentified person actually died a full year before our missing person even disappeared? The timeline makes zero sense. The perfect match just completely falls apart. Or, get this, maybe despite every other detail matching perfectly, the biological profile from the lab comes back and confirms the unidentified person is a different gender. It doesn't make any sense, but the science doesn't lie. Or maybe the body was found in, say, California on the exact same day the person was last seen in New York. I mean, logistically, it's a total impossibility. So it's not a match. It's another dead end. This whole phenomenon, it actually has a name, the Doppelgänger Effect. And listen, the most important word in that definition is frequent. This is not some one in a million thing. It's a common, and you can imagine, a deeply frustrating part of the job for these investigators. So, what does this all mean? Well, the implications of this go way beyond just a simple case of mistaken identity. It suggests something much bigger and, honestly, pretty unnerving about the world we live in. The really chilling takeaway from the Doppelgänger Effect is this. For any person who goes missing, there are probably other people out there walking around who are, for all intents and purposes, their physical twin. People with the same height, the same scars, even the same tattoos, who live and die as total strangers to one another. For the investigators, and especially for the families, this is just devastating. The search for a loved one is already a living nightmare. But the idea that a perfect double could exist out there, creating these moments of false hope that lead to dead ends, it adds this layer of what you can only really call cosmic dread to the whole thing. And that's really the question that this leaves us with, isn't it? It changes the whole problem. It's no longer about finding a needle in a haystack. It's about finding one specific needle in a haystack that's full of nearly identical needles. It's a mind-boggling challenge and a really haunting reminder of just how vast and anonymous our world can be.